I'm not matching profiles, I'm matching people.
How far are you willing to go to become you? I'm asked that same question every morning. The connection has been lost to each other and to ourselves. Toxicity continues to rise while self-worth continues to fall. This was created out of sheer necessity, the desire to create change and curve the culture back to connection. My journey has rerouted my idea of who I'm becoming. Connection begins within, continues outward. Love you, then love me, in that order. If I'm about to get uncomfortable, then so are you. I'm learning who I am. Now I want to get to know you. Connection over convenience.
Just a little bit to kind of listen to what you're saying.
I think we're finalizing the settings here. That's good. This is actually our first remote podcast. We've never done a remote. We've only had somebody in the studio twice, so we're learning as we go along here.
Okay, cool, man. Nothing wrong with that, man. I'm happy for what you guys are doing, man. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, can he hear you?
You can hear me good, right?
Yeah, I can hear you good now. I can hear you real good.
As long as he can hear you and you can hear me.
We're good? You got the recording going all this stuff?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sean? Cool.
Yes,
all right.
sir.
All right, Sean Hykey. Everybody knows him as the Keto Fit rapper. He's building quite a following out in Instagram world. That's how I found you. And every day you're inspiring people. I love your story. I love the content. I love you just putting yourself out there. You are the real, meeting of vulnerability, and I love that connection. And I'd say from prison to purpose, I'm so excited for you to come on, join us on the XXO podcast, learn about you and your life, and go from there. So, Sean, we welcome you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me on. I mean, I appreciate the opportunity for me just to be able to come on here and just talk to people, man, and just put my name out there, because I'm definitely trying to build my brand up and just let people know that I'm a regular human being, makes mistakes, has had some minor setbacks in life, but it's nothing that you can't come back from, man.
That's it. Every day you wake up, you're positive, and I love the message.
Absolutely.
What gets you out of bed every morning?
Wanting to be a better version of myself every day. I mean, just knowing the things that I guess the hole that I put myself in throughout life, and I just have this chip on my shoulder. I mean, I know I don't have anything else to prove to anybody else, but it's just mainly about proving something to myself that I can be worthy of something other than mistakes and criminal things that have plagued my past, especially most of my 20s. I mean, now that I'm in my 30s and almost going on 36 next year. Obviously a lot of that stuff is behind me, but I've left a lot on the table as far as what I could have accomplished at this point. And don't get me wrong, I don't have any regrets, but I wake up knowing every day that I have to grind twice as hard now in order to get where I want to be, because I messed a lot of my life up. And, I just wake up with that fire, just knowing that I can do it. I'm capable. And just like I made a post on Instagram about an hour ago that despite the mistakes you might have made, you are a worthy person. I know I'm a worthy person. I'm worthy of success, and I'm going to go out there and get it, and I'm going to die trying. I mean, that's just the kind of mentality I have right now. And I just hope that state of mind and that message is communicated to people. I mean, I want people to feed off of that too, and them feel the same way, regardless of, they made any mistakes in their past. I mean, obviously no one is perfect, but I want to use that message and communicate, and hopefully someone feeds off of that and feel like they can do, any and everything with their life as well.
Absolutely. You have to project your voice, and you're doing that every single day. Mm-hmm. It's a great story. It's like, how far are you willing to go to become you? And our past doesn't define us.
Right.
And that's what we all know. We all wake up. You're born into the day. Every morning we wake up, we get another start.
Absolutely.
Yes. So could you take me back to kind of this from wherever all this began? I think it was in you're 35 now, and kind of life took an interesting, I guess, turn in your early 20s. Is that correct? When you were in college?
Well, that's where I guess all the dirt and all the stuff started to catch up with me. I mean, that's where, but it had always been going on for quite some time. I mean, I kind of grew up in an environment where, selling drugs was cool. Like, I mean, that's the kind of thing that you just, just started doing because obviously everyone else was doing it. So it wasn't like obviously I had an opportunity to say no, and no, I don't want to do anything like that. But, when you're young and you're influenced by your peers, you just start to do whatever the hell they're doing. I mean, and if that's, playing the PlayStation, whether that's going out to eat, whether they're selling drugs, it was kind of all in the same, bag. So that's just the kind of thing I started doing. And I was doing it all through high school. I had just never got caught. I used to take, ounces of weed to school with me and sell it in school. And the funny thing is, I've always played both sides of that fence. Tell me why. Have you ever heard of a guy selling ounces of weed per day with perfect attendance in high school? Well, maybe that gave me the reason to keep going to school every day. But I always knew academics was important. I always knew to go to school. Well, I knew my mom was going to beat my behind if I didn't. But I still always had that influence of the negativity always coming behind me with the positivity. And that kind of carried on even when I left home and went to college. I still continued, to surround myself with the wrong people. It just carried over. It was never okay, I can put this behind me now. I don't have to do this anymore. It just became a part of me. It became my lifestyle. So anything that you're doing, good or bad, you form a habit, and you will continue to formulate your life around those habits. And that's exactly what happened. And around my junior year, senior year of college, everything finally caught up with me, man. I started hanging around even worse people. It was grown men who were, I never actually robbed anybody, but I was hanging around those kind of people. And one thing led to another, just ended up in a bad situation with some guys, and I ended up catching a conspiracy to armed robbery charge because of the people that I chose to surround myself with. And that's what happened.
So pretty soon, I was having this conversation the other day with somebody. Is in my past probably couple of years, but really this past year, it's been quite a journey for me. Is really making the incision, literally blocking out all the noise outside and really getting to know myself. Because a lot of times, I'm finding out too many times that we're all running from ourselves. So when things things aren't going right, it's easy just to bounce and not really take the time to figure out who we are and do the right thing. And so for many of us running, we don't spend time to be with ourselves and have those conversations with ourselves and get to know ourselves. Yes. For you, I almost call it like confinement. Literally, you were in a time in prison where you were able to sit down with the four walls and really get to know you spent that time to actually get to know yourself.
Yep.
Like you were able to quiet the world.
That was the time I needed. And I wouldn't change. I really wouldn't change it for the world, man, because I know that I needed to put myself in an atmosphere, in a situation where I could transition and evolve and become a man. And being out, in the world around the same people, being influenced by the same things. At the time, I did not have the willpower. I didn't have the discipline to separate myself from that life. It became so ingrained in my mind and who I became as a person that it became second nature to me. So to be snatched out of the environment by force, I'm almost glad that it happened, because I had a chance to sit down and say, hey, okay, now I almost look, it's more of a stain on my record, but I looked at it as more of a clean slate, because it gave me a time to get away from everything and to figure everything out. It was almost like an exhale type of moment, like, okay, finally got my mess finally caught up with me. Now I can sit down, have a clean slate, figure all this stuff out. And a lot of people don't realize this, but man, there are some good people in prison. There's some I surrounded myself, and it's funny, I got to prison and decided to surround myself with good people. It was weird. I mean, these guys would give you the skin off of their back if they considered you somebody that they could trust, or they could, sit down and talk to. They would do any and everything for you. And these are the type of people that I was around every day, who would give me, godly advice, just worldly advice, how to carry myself as a man, how to act like a man, how to get away. And the kind of guys that were also in there that I used to hang around with on the street, these guys were in there for the second, third, fourth time. So it was like, I put two and two together. That's not what I want for my life. And I know if I get out of here and keep doing this, it's going to be my second, third, fourth time. And I want it more for myself, man.
Do you think there's a level of comfort when they keep going back, because that environment feels almost natural to them?
It's called institutionalized. It's called being institutionalized. And people go back to get out of prison and go back to the same stuff, the same reason why. And honestly, a lot of people don't realize prison and in the military is almost kind of the same mindset. That's why a lot of people, they like that structure. They like already have everything set out for them. They like, when you're in prison, you don't have to think much. Everything is given to you. Your bed is given to you, just like the military. Your job is given to you, just like the military. Just your food, you don't have to worry about anything. So I think you're right. That becomes a level of comfort and normalcy for a lot of people, and that's why they end up going back.
Is it almost entitlement too? Like everything's given to you? Because when you come out now and nothing's given to us, we need to earn everything.
Yes.
So is there a kind of a line there where between being given to you and entitlement, you think? Or is it just a comfort?
I don't know. That's a tough one. Everyone goes back for different reasons, man. I mean, I've been around guys who've committed some really egregious crimes and said, "Hey, man, this is my life." This is while a guy is in prison. He said, "Man, I'm always gang banging. That's me. I know I'm coming back." So it's almost like
it's a mindset.
Wow.
It's an interesting mindset, but it's a mindset.
Yes, and once that mindset gets set in, I mean, we all know we have options and we have choices to get away from those things, but like you said, it became a comfort level in his mind. Like he couldn't picture himself doing anything else. I mean, I guess deep down, I've always done other things. I've always done other positive things. So it was easier for me to kind of look back and say, hey, this is not what I want for myself. I've done some positive things, and I saw any time in life when I was doing the right thing and when I was walking a straight and narrow path in some way, shape, form, or fashion, God has always blessed me with things, and he's always put me in position for success. So, like I said, just that time for me, I can't speak for anyone else, it just gave me time to really hone in on that thought alone and start to form my mentality around wanting to do a lot better. And once I got out, I mean, that's exactly what I started doing. I mean, I'm not, nowhere near where I want to be, but I'm putting myself in position, at least on that path, to get exactly where I want to go.
The thing you need to understand is nobody's ever stuck in a personality. Nobody's ever stuck in life. We're just stuck in our head. So a lot of people think like, this is my personality, this is who I am. And that's not the case. It's just how far you're willing to go to really, figure out who you are.
And a lot of people aren't willing to go there. That's also the problem. That's a big if.
So, because it's uncomfortable. Having to face all the, when you make that incision, you have to face all that expose all the areas of inside that's never seen light, the dark parts of you.
Yeah.
It's easier to run from that. But you've come out and you discovered that, you're not locked into a personality.
Right.
So what made you then? Were you always rapping? Were you always working out? I mean, it's amazing. The transition for me, I love it. And I know that's quite about like 15 probably years from then to today or so, correct? Just around
well, this was 2000. I got out in 2011. I mean, so it's not even been a decade yet.
Okay.
But yeah, I've always rapped. And the thing is, fitness discipline in the area of physicality and keeping my shape up, that's always been a part of me from a long time ago. I've actually, people used to pay me in prison to come wake them up in the morning and drag them outside and make them work out and make them run and stuff. Like I had my own little fitness team. But from the age of, maybe 5 or 6 years old, I think back, and there was a channel that used to come on cable TV called Fit TV, and there was this guy named Jake. I don't remember his last name, but I already knew him.
Body by Jake.
That was my guy, man. And I was like,
Luke, do you remember Jake's name? You remember his last name? Jake. I know exactly who you're talking about, so I can't think.
Never remember the guy's last name. Body by Jake, right?
Yeah.
That's all I knew was Body by Jake. I just never knew his last name.
Yeah.
Brother, I was about 6 years old when that show used to come on. And it used to come on like early in the morning, like 5:30 in the morning. I used to go into the room whenever my cousin would spend the night with me during the summer. I would go shake her and get her out of bed like, Ashley, come on, Body by Jake is on. Let's go work out. Man, I'm 5, 6 years old in the kitchen, in the living room doing sit-ups and push-ups and jumping jacks. And I look back and I was like, wow, that's always been a part of me. I've always loved fitness. I've always loved working out. Like that, it is, and it's fun to me. I find myself a lot of times being the only person in the gym that's laughing. it's just, I don't know. It's just fun. It's fun to me.
There was a great clip I saw on Twitter the other day, but I think you put out back in September, and you're running on the treadmill. There's people all around. You're going like 1,000 miles a minute, and you're just calling out all these affirmations, and you're pumped. I love that clip. We're gonna put that clip on this video, Luke. Make sure you include that clip. I love it. It's probably like a 1 minute clip.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just on those treadmills. You're doing like 1,000 times the speed of everybody else, and just having a blast. And I love it.
And believe it or not, I actually started to get a little crowd because I got loud because the guy was shooting. The camera was. It was at least. It was about 4 treadmills over, and then the camera. Yeah. And then the camera was right there, so I had to be extra loud.
Yeah.
And yeah, like everyone just stopped their whole workout. Was like,
yeah, this guy's not playing. This guy ain't fucking around.
Right. So yeah, man, and it kind of got me even hyped up to finish the workout. I was getting a little tired, so I needed something. To kind of boost my energy up a little bit. Yeah. So that helped me out.
It was a great moment. So you were for everybody to find Sean on Instagram. I know that's where you do most of your content, and Twitter as well. But it's the Keto Fit Rapper, and I highly suggest everybody go see. It's nonstop content all day in the stories. I mean, there's times where you're pumped up. There's behind the scenes where you're working. There's parts where a lot of times where you're crying. You capture everything. You don't hold back, and that's what I love about it.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's just who I am in real life. I tell people the guy that you see online, same guy that you would meet in real life. Like, there's no change. I try to be 100% transparent with anybody I'm dealing with online, whether it's content, whether it's just sitting down and offering a shoulder to lean on or to cry on for somebody that that I'm close to. They see I'm genuine. I put myself through enough mess in life to not be genuine. So it's like there's no I don't judge people, man. I don't look at I don't look at it as I'm better than anybody else. I've just never been that type of person. And just like the Mike Tyson motivational video I watched last night, I agree. I never looked at myself. I have not low self-esteem. I have I'm pretty humble because I don't think highly of myself. I guess is what I'm saying, because I don't know if it's based on my past or based on, the things I want to do in the future, or just who I am as a person or the way I was raised. But I just, in my mind, I'm just no better than anybody else. I don't give a damn if they're handicapped. I don't give a damn if they're overweight. I don't care if they never graduated high school. I don't care if they have a job. Like, in my mind, I'm at least they're equal. But I never felt like I was better than anyone else. But people still believe that. But I think that's just an issue within them. Like, I'll be in the gym and I'll kind of, guys will be like, he'll be walking to the water fountain. He'll be like, okay, go, you can go ahead. I'm like, come on, man, you don't have to do that. I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy, bro. You just see the muscles, but I'm not that guy. Like, you don't have to, excuse yourself to let me get in front of you to get the water. I'm like, bro, go ahead, it's fine.
I didn't even touch on this, but the way that we met was actually on Gary V on Instagram through a couple of his posts, and
I remember,
that's how I came across you. I mean, you're relentless and like nonstop. In the comments, you're commenting to. You're engaging.
I got blocked a few times.
For anybody who doesn't know, Gary V, who posts 1,000 times a day, also, and Sean's jumping into every single person. He gets hundreds of thousands of people commenting, and I see this guy, the Keto Fit Rapper, commenting. So I love this guy, and I jumped in, and that's how Sean and I actually got to know each other. We responded a couple of times within the Gary V post, and then reached out, I think, offline or through a DM, and that's how we get to know each other.
Yeah, Instagram doesn't like that. It throws up a red flag whenever I comment more than like 25 times, and then I get blocked for like 3 or 4 hours. So if you guys don't hear anything from me for a few hours, it's because Instagram blocked me, and you won't, and I have to send them a nice little polite email begging them to unblock me.
I love it.
They blocked me at least 20 times, so I'm kind of getting used to it.
You better get yourself a backup profile.
Yeah, I know. Just switch over and they keep on commenting.
That's right. I love it. What's the future for you? Where's all this going?
All right now, I'm going to continue to work on some YouTube content. I really want to be able to give people more information from the fitness aspect of things, because I do post a lot of nutrition stuff, and I can give the nutrition advice, just through different posts. But I want to really start to open up my YouTube channel and show people really the techniques of a lot of different workouts that I do, just small different tweaks and adjustments from what I'm seeing over the years of people working out. Like, I'm actually about to put up a video on probably tomorrow afternoon about the art of the chest press, because I notice a lot of people, for example, they'll go at a 90-degree angle with their arm and they'll push that way. But if you look at that movement, that's all shoulders. That's all right in the front delt. And I notice this whenever people get done with their set on chest. I've seen it too many times. People go like this. They're not going like this. They're going like this because they put so much strain right here on the front of the shoulder. So only thing you have to do is tuck down a little bit, take the tension off of here, and you're pushing down here. Now you're getting the tension on the chest when you tuck the elbow in a little bit. So that's what that video will really be touching on. And I want to be able to do that a lot more, just different things I've learned over the years. And I'm actually about to start launching SeanHykey.com. I'm looking for that to be launched at the beginning of the year, like no later than the second, third week of January. I'm about to start working on that website probably here in the upcoming week. So there's going to be a lot more ways for people to reach me and a lot more different content. I'm going to be doing blogs because I love writing. Like I said, I'm a rapper. I love writing. I'll probably put a lot more lyrics in my blogs. I was thinking about that so people can kind of just read along with the lyrics and be like, okay, wow. Because a lot of people, when you're rapping it really fast, and I don't rap fast, but when you're rapping it to like da-da-da-da-da, people don't catch it. I like the thought of putting it in word form so you can read it almost like a poem. Because essentially that's what it is.
It is.
Yes, and I want to I want people to really see the wordplay and read it and be like, oh, that's what he was saying. So I'm going to use the website for things like that as well. So people definitely be on the lookout for that.
I love it. Sean, you have a gift is the gift of connection, and that's everything I'm about is connection over convenience. You know, in life today, everything's become so convenient, but you've really taken the time and currently, you know, going through your own journey to really connect with yourself in a much deeper level and get to know yourself and kind of expose yourself to all of us. And I think it's an amazing thing. I think that's your gift is you know, helping me to curve the culture back to connection of people actually being vulnerable again, being, you know, loving themselves and not being afraid of who they are and trying to be somebody else. So,
yes,
you know, for everything that you give, I really appreciate that. I know I keep watching, you know, the engagement with you grow, and I love that, people getting to know you. If there's anything I can do to, you know, get you out there, I hope the whole world sees you. They deserve to see you, and I really appreciate everything you do.
I appreciate you just, you know, because in my mind, man, like I said, I'm so much of a humble person. I don't feel like I'm doing anything. Like, you wouldn't believe that, but that's how I truly feel. But knowing that people have direct messaged me and say thank you for inspiring me, and you reaching out to me and wanting me on your podcast, and that means a lot to me. It gives me more energy to say, hey, keep on doing this. You are affecting someone. And, you know, the world, I had a lady the other night talk to me on Twitter. She said, if I continue to not realize the person that I am and use the gift of inspiring people, motivation, and being genuine, if I don't use that, then I'm essentially denying people my gift. And when she said that, that really touched home with me. And that gave me more reason to keep going forth with the tools and the things that God has instilled upon my heart and my mind, because I don't want to deny people that gift. If I'm able to inspire somebody, to lift somebody up every day, to get them out of bed every morning because of a Sean Hykey post, damn it, I'm going to keep on doing it, man. It feels good. It feels good.
There's no difference. If you decided to, what she said is not do it, then you might as well have stayed in prison, or that part of you stayed in prison and locked that part up, because for that part not to come out, you're just throwing that part away. And as you said, people want it institutionalized, or they keep going back. I think you've made that decision to, you're not going back in terms of not physically, but that part of you, you're keeping that part out in front of all us. So it's not just, it's like being so vulnerable to show us who you are every day. That's what we're all loving. You know?
Well, I'm crying. If y'all didn't realize, like, there's tears right there. I told people I'm a crier. Like, I really just, and I'll laugh about it. Like, I've always just cried. A lot of times it's just I've always been an emotional person. You can blame my mother for that. She's the one that raised me. So you get raised by a mom, you already know there's going to be a lot of emotion floating around in the house.
Those are legit tears. I know you have to go to work today, and you have some other stuff you got to get done. But I really, Sean, I appreciate you allowing me the opportunity to have this conversation and giving me, some time. I know you have a million things to do, but I really appreciate it. Please don't stop with the content. Please keep diving in deeper. Please dive in deeper with the videos, the content, and keep pushing the fuck out of yourself to do what you're doing, because it's making a difference.
Absolutely, man. Will do. I appreciate you having me on, Jason.
Yeah, anytime. Anything else you'd like to let the world know?
Man, y'all just keep tuning in. I mean, it's just giving me, more energy. I feed off other people. I mean, just a message. Actually, I made subtitles for one of the rap little skits that I did, and someone who was deaf sent me a direct message and said, "Hey, I appreciate you putting the subtitles on there because I can't hear."
Wow, that's awesome.
And right, I was like, wow, you just never know who you're affecting. And that's why it's so important to stay such a genuine person and an open person and a transparent person, because everyone feeds off of everyone else. So it's just of the utmost importance just to continue to be the person that God wants you to be, and don't try to feed off or try to be anyone else, because, we are all special people, in our own self and our own skin.
It's the law of attraction.
Yes.
You know about the law of attraction now, and just staying positive. So, Sean, thank you so much. The Keto Fit rapper right here. Sean Hykey.
Yes, sir.
You wanna take us out with a quick rap?
Man, I don't have anything, but I'm gonna find. You know what? Because every time this happens, I don't have anything ready. So hold on. I'm going to find something to have ready. Jeez, I wish I had something ready. I would have to pull it up on. See, I'm not good at memorizing lyrics, believe it or not, y'all. I'm great at writing it, but I'm bad at memorizing it. Like, you should see me here. It takes me like an hour just to get a verse up. It's terrible. I'm terrible with it. But I don't have anything on hand right now. Hold on. Let me see if I can move this thing to the side. And I'm going to give the people something. I'm going to give the people something. I don't have that hooked up. I don't have... I'm a treasure where the trash is. Rose from the ashes. They used to shoot me down. Now I got something they can't miss. Yeah, what up? I don't do no shoulda, coulda. I just raised the bar. Life is like a set of pull-ups. Lot of reps, no rest. I'll rest in my grave. Motivation music, count on me to lead the way. Hykey's the movement. Wellness, performance. Be in peak condition for the naysayers you're going against. The talk behind your back. They'll say the same thing. I refuse to be a slave in yesterday's chains. On my knees like a peasant. I say we all ascend to the clouds and run a mile in the streets of heaven. I don't remember the rest, but that's pretty much what it is.
Sean, I'm proud to be a part of the Sean Hykey movement. Thank you so much.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man.
I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Enjoy your day.
You too.